Hi everybody. So we finished our solar system and I thought I would take a second to show you start to finish how this all works. We have 15 300 watt solar panels and they're on a rack that we built ourselves. Kudos to my husband and my brother Jason for doing this, because this is a lot of work to build this rack. Kind of give you a back shot here of this rack. They're set in 4 foot of concrete, so it's not going to go anywheres. And they're all wired up, all of them. I would suggest to anybody that is going to put in their own solar is to pay for the pole that the solar companies offer. And yes, I do have a clothesline hang strung up on the back side of our solar. But everything comes into this junction box right here, and it has a little protector on it, surge protector. And it is all grounded to a grounding rod in the ground that goes down 5 foot, which is to code. And then all of the line is buried all the way over to Richard's big shed. And then I'm going to take you over there. We also we got our propane delivery and set up. So both our temporary house, this big shed, and my woman's hut, all three have propane running into it. So there's our Aussie Moto. It's a CF Moto, 2019 CF Moto. Fantastic little machine. This week, we also had our HughesNet and DirecTV installed. Whoops, sorry guys, I didn't mean to drop you. But we had that installed. So let's go into the big shed here. Inside here, at the very back, we're building a room, and we just haven't gotten it all done yet. Time was short. So when the power comes into the building, it's going to come into that single sub box, this other breaker box, and most importantly, the control charger. This control charger is what takes in the power from the solar panels, and everything's on a redundant system. So in case something happens, there's a surge or whatever, it'll blow a breaker, or it'll ground out to all of our grounding rods, excuse me, not grinding, but grounding rods. This is all on another grounding rod outside, and our electric pole also is on a grounding rod. So what this is showing is that we are charging. Today we've used 5.4 kilowatts of power. Our battery bank is charging really nice. This is a 48 volt system, and you can see we have 86.3 volts and 3,019 watts being generated off of our solar panel. Okay, so from the control charger, okay, it goes to these guys down here, which is 16 6-volt batteries wired in series, then paralleled. Now what that means is, in series it gives us our 48 volts. When we parallel them, okay, that raises the amp hours to over 2,000 amp hours. So, you know, that's a very important point to all of this, is that you got to make sure you have enough power coming in to charge your batteries, but you're also storing enough energy in those batteries that if you have a severely cloudy few days, you still have enough power or enough energy in your batteries to power your things in the house. Quick shot. There is one of the heaters that was installed. My woman's hut has the exact same thing. It's a propane heater. It'll heat up this small room once we get it all built. Of course, we got a window there. That is one of the breaker panels for the house. So there is the breaker, that middle one that has the red tape on it. That one goes to that breaker box, and it also comes to this big bad boy right here. This is a 6,000 watt Ames control charger, okay? Power inverter charger, excuse me. This thing is what turns that right there into electricity for our house, okay? Now, right there, it's showing that our batteries are full now, okay? Earlier, we had 3 bars. Now we got 4, so that means we're full. And that's just from being generated from outside, or from the sun, okay? So if anything happens, everything is fuse protected, breaker protected, grounded, all of that good stuff. It looks a little chaotic right now. The lines will be tightened up and made to look really nice the next home time, but everything is working famously right now. Let's go outside for a minute. Back across through the man cave. The room that we're going to put on here, or the wall that we'll be building, will actually have an interior door that we can shut and heat that room, because batteries need to be kept at least 50 degrees during the wintertime so you're not losing capacity. And you don't want your batteries to freeze. That's a bad thing. It kills your batteries bigger than anything. So out the back of the shed, we have a line buried. And it goes, excuse the HughesNet and the DirecTV lines. We haven't buried those yet. It goes to this box right there. Okay. Now, as you know, we have a 40-foot park model camper for right now. Our cabin's going to be built next year. So everything goes into that box right there. All those lines are fed into there from the electrical in the shed through conduit underground. Now, yeah, our wire did not need to be in conduit, but we were being extra safe and extra protected and, just taking every precaution necessary. And you can see the other grounding rod right there. So we have 3 grounding rods. We didn't need that many, but we decided that it was better to be safe than sorry. Now, the thing about solar is you have to, if you want a solar system, hey, great. You got to figure out how much power you're going to need, how many amps you're going to need. You got to figure out what you want to run, when you want to run it, and how often you want to run it. And then you got to figure out what you need, what you want, and what you can live without. And that is hard for some people. You can install any size system that you want, provided it meets your needs. Now, we definitely did an overkill. We did not need a 4.5 kilowatt system. But we're looking long term. Here in Maine, in the wintertime, you might only get 2.5, 3 hours of sun a day. Everything has to be facing south. As you can see, we have cut back our trees on this lot and a great deal just to make sure that that solar array is getting plenty of sun. In October, we're going to have more trees cut out to open up and provide more sun, because we saw, especially in the morning time, that those panels were shaded. And we really want to catch the strongest sun in the wintertime is oftentimes the morning sun, so we want to make sure we get as much. So my advice to everybody, if you want to be off-grid, hey, great, do it. But be prepared to make some sacrifices along the way. Right now, what we're running in the house is a couple of fans. We're charging some power tool batteries. We got our fridge running. When we leave, the fridge will be staying on this time. Last night we were running the AC on top of that and the microwave, and we made very little dent. But then again, if you're running, curling irons, hair dryers, have a whole passel of teenage girls and teenage boys who game all the time, you might need more batteries than we do. But that gives you a quick view of what we got going on. I hope you guys have a great day.